What's going on, guys? So let's talk about UseActionState, something new in React 19, and I would say it's pretty awesome. So let's jump right into it. As you can see, this is the traditional way of doing forms in React, right? So you have a form element, then you're going to have a message, let's say a success message. Then I have a label here, I have an input element, and then I'm basically just have some styles applied. Anyway, so I have a name here that says email, and then I have on change handler that's going to update a state, basically set email. And then of course I have processing. If it's true, then we basically just show processing, otherwise we show submit button. And finally any error, so we're going to show that here. If the result is success and we're not processing, sorry, if the result is not success, we are not processing, then you show the error, right? And let's come on over to the state. So we have a state for the result, then I have another state for email, then I have yet one more state for processing. Then when you submit the form, you have this onSubmit handler. So first thing you have to do is do the prevent default, otherwise the page is gonna do a refresh. And then also you're gonna do the processing, get the form data, and then call your function, whatever it is. And then you gotta do this result, and you gotta do the set processing. So as you can see, there's a lot going on. You gotta manage a lot of state actually for error, for processing. Now imagine you have like a bunch of fields, so it's going to become too much to do this, right? So let's submit the form. Let's say I'm just going to submit it empty, and I've introduced like a fake delay here. So this is the action that I'm calling, or the method that I'm calling. Basically I grab the email, I'm just doing a simple check. If the email doesn't have the @ symbol, then well, that's an error. And then here's a fake network delay, and then we return the error, and that's how it is. So now let's say I'm going to submit a good email. Let's say email@email.com. I'm going to submit it. Okay, so that one got submitted and things are good. Now let's see how we can take this and use the UseActionState. Okay, so what we are going to do, start using the UseActionState. So it's going to be a state, and then the form action, and then also the is pending. Okay, so the state is initially it's going to be the state that you supply, because well, initially there's no state, but on subsequent ones going to be the state returned by the your action. Okay, so how do we use it then? We do like this: use action state, like that. So here you can pass the action that you have. So in this case, it's my login action. So I'm going to do login, and then you want to pass it an initial state. So you can do null, or if you want to have initial state, you can pass that. So I'm going to do. Okay, so now that I have that defined, so what you can do is actually take all of this and I can comment it out. We don't need this. We don't need this, right? You don't need this, because since you're wrapping this in a form and you're giving it this name, it's going to automatically pass the form data to your action. Now the other thing your action will take is a state, right? So it will take that. So it could be scenarios in your production. Let's say you're using this and you're like, hey, how come it's not working? So remember, the form data is actually the second element that gets passed, not the first one. So just something to keep in mind. Anyway, so as you can see, we already got rid of all of this. Now what change do we need to make here? Well, you don't need to change, you don't need to do this. You can get rid of that. Then the other thing you need to do is don't do the onSubmit. Instead, what you can do is this action, okay, and that's going to be the form action, like that. Okay, so that's pretty I guess simple. And now what you can do is, instead of all this garbage that you have here, what you can do this is, see how we have this is pending. So what we can do is, if is pending, right, then we do the processing, and then here we have the state. So I can basically just take this and I can do state dot success, state dot message, state, and then I can do is not is pending. That's very simple, I would say. And then I have state that error, right? So we got rid of all that, the manual thing that we need to do. All we just need to do is just one line. That's all you need, and then it will be done like that. Now, so this actually you can come here and do this, because these run on the server, right, like that. And the better way would be to take this out, put it in a separate file. Okay, so I'm going to come over here to my files. Okay, and I'm going to create a separate file and I'm going to call it actions.scjs. And then in here at the top, you're going to put use server. And then I'm going to put this right here, the login, right? So now that I have that, then I can come back here. Okay, so now I have this login, so I need to just import this. So what we need to do is close this. I can go back to the action and we need to do this export. We need to export this out so we can use it. And we can just get rid of all of this. Actually, we don't need none of this. It's so simple right now. Okay, so let's go in Zen mode. And as you can see, we don't need this. So we'll get rid of this. I can just do a refresh and let me submit the form again. Let's say I submitted blank. Okay, so same thing, invalid email. Let's do a normal one. So email@email.com, submit. Boom, that's how easy it is to use UseActionState, and I would say it simplifies everything a whole bunch. So I hope you guys liked and enjoyed this very quick tip on React. Like and subscribe, and bye now.